Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I got my man Voch Lombardi in the house.
Yo, 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 it's Vegan Voch, Dad Hat Lombardi. What's happening?
Vegan.
Yeah, man, it's something I'm doing for like 2 weeks, man. Just see how I feel, man. I've already lost about 15 doing it. It's really vegetarian because like vegans don't wear leather and vegans don't eat honey, and that's kind of soft to me. So I don't really.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't show up for our tailgate, man, because we had all kinds of meat, man, between the pulled pork sliders and everything else.
Don't get me wrong. This is a fad. This ain't a lifestyle
Oh,
change.
okay.
And I'm back in business.
Well, okay. I don't know if you guys don't know who Vosh is, and if you don't, come out from underneath the rock because my man is the draft expert. He should be working for ES. No, I'm not gonna say ESPN because shit, they're not good enough for him. But he should be working for NFL Network or for a team because he really knows his stuff. So when I don't know something for sure, I like to go to the experts, and that's why I'm here with Vosh. And Vosh, my question to you is Amari Cooper. The Cowboys gave up a number one for him. A lot of people out there saying that's too much. Other people are saying that it was a good deal, and so on. I want to know from what you know about him, what do you think about that move?
Well, it's a lot of angles we can look at it, and we have to look at it from a Cowboys angle.
Hmm.
I mean, so if we play this year out and we finish 8-8, we'll be drafting around 17, 18, 19 or so.
Hmm.
If you look at our team and the needs of our team, the only thing that we really need is, wide receiver, tight end, maybe quarterback of the future. We can cross that road at some point. But if you got any faith in Dak, all we really looking at is tight end and wide receiver, right?
Okay.
So looking at next year's draft, there's a kid out of Ole Miss, kid named Brown, AJ Brown, kid from Arizona State, N'Keal Harry, guys like that. They're not going to step in day one and be great. When we look at guys like Michael Gallup's going to be amazing one day, but it's a lot he has to learn. He got to learn how to come back to the football. He's got to learn how to fight through certain types of jams, certain types of leverages that he has to learn. So what the Cowboys are basically doing is they're saying, look, we're probably going to draft a receiver anyway. If we're going to draft a receiver anyway, let's get one that's established. Let's get one that we know can walk in day one and play. Let's get one that knows about leveraging, that knows about checks, that knows how offenses work.
Hmm.
There's a coach in Oakland that comes straight from Linehan's coaching tree, so the learning curve may not be too big.
I didn't know about that.
Absolutely. Let's bring in a guy like that has played 4 years, and let's make him the receiver that we would draft anyway. If you look at the receivers that have come out the past few years or whatever,
I got the list right here.
call them out. Call them out. I was going to wing it.
Okay. All right. Josh Dotson, 2016 Redskins.
Mhm.
48 catches, 678 yards so far in his career, 6 TDs.
Wow.
Corey Davis, 2017.
Nothing.
Okay. Mike Williams, 28 catches.
Nothing.
John Ross, 2017, 7 catches.
Nothing.
Uh, Connie Coleman,
Corey Coleman.
Corey Coleman,
From
16,
Baylor. No.
56 catches.
Nothing.
Will Fuller is probably the one that's done the most damage since 2016. He's got 102.
Sure.
Treadwell,
Nothing.
okay, and then you got, of course, this year you have DJ Moore's got 13, and Calvin Ridley with 27 with a great team around him and another core.
So that's 1.5 receiver that you would consider worth taking in the past 4 years in the first round or so. That ain't really a good number. That one class that had all the receivers, that doesn't happen every year.
Yeah.
With Beckham and Watkins and Mike Evans, those guys, Jarvis Landry, we'll never have one of those years again. So you look at, man, so this kid Amari Cooper, drafted number 4 overall.
2 Pro Bowls.
For good reason. Fourth overall pick, pretty good size. He's 6'1", but he's good size. 220 pounds or so. Can catch the ball. He has some focus drops. I call them focus drops. But for the most part, he has great hands, can play in the air, can get you yak, outstanding route runner. Like when you look at the top class of route runners, when you look at Antonio Brown, you look at Adam Thielen, you put Amari Cooper in that same realm as route runners.
Oh, looks like we got a technical difficulty. Froze up a little bit there.
You know what I mean? We need guys that can run routes and get open quick. Even if we did need a big play, out of his 9 touchdowns, 5 of them were plus 30 yarders. So there is big play potential with Amari Cooper. Plus he's nuanced route runner. Plus he gives you yak. So you look at that and you look at the other options we have at receiver. I mean, Quincy Enunwa is probably going to be the best free agent wide receiver next year. Quincy Enunwa ain't better than Amari Cooper. So you don't want to see us give up a first round pick to go get a guy. But damn, you was going to use one anyway. So
okay,
I don't really have a problem with it.
Here's the other side of it though. So basically, we're giving up a draft pick for a guy that we're going to have to pay $13 million next year and have to sign him to another deal if we do want to keep him. So we're kind of renting him at a kind of high price. This year, of course, is only $400,000, which is great. But I believe we got some places I've seen 11, but I thought we had about 19 million in cap space. I may be wrong in there, and that money will roll over. So really, you're okay. It's kind of a wash.
What we're looking at next year is 70 million in cap space.
Right. So
that's plenty.
You got plenty in there. Okay, so now here's the argument that I keep hearing from the 80%, that it don't matter who we put out there, that Dak won't be able to hit them.
We've seen deep passes to guys like Michael Gallup. We've seen Dak throw deep passes to Bryce Butler. We've seen him throw deep passes to Terrence Williams. We've seen him throw deep passes to Dez Bryant. Now, Dez Bryant may or may not have been open when he threw it because
and he may or may not have caught it.
But we've seen Dak throw deep passes to guys. I mean, he's tried to hit Rico Gathers in the end zone. That was about a 20-yard pass in the back of the end zone. We've seen him. But who else is Dak gonna throw deep passes to? Beasley? Who's gonna throw it to Hearns?
Yeah.
Hearns look like he's running in sand out there.
He looks like he's running carrying those blocks.
Absolutely. So when we say, Dak doesn't throw the ball deep, who is he gonna throw it deep to? You know what I mean? Tavon Austin caught a deep ball this year. So we have the potential to throw the ball deep. I just don't think we've really had consistent deep threats in that way. If we had Will Fuller on this team, we'll throw Will Fuller the ball deep. I think Amari Cooper can play deep ball. Like he's a 4-4-40 guy. You know what I mean? So let him run deep. Sure.
So who do you think benefits the most from this? To me, this makes it look like that Dak is not going anywhere this year and next year. You gave up the number one. So if you're looking at trying to draft a quarterback, there's not going to be anybody you're really going to be able to get that's going to be an impact player. And when you look at the free agent market, there's not a whole lot of quarterbacks out there that you can get. And if you do bring in one of these guys, you're going to have to pay them. So to me, that says Dak is staying.
Okay.
How does this affect Jason Garrett? Is it a win-lose situation that if he ends up winning with them, he stays, or if he loses with them, he's gone?
Well, I don't mind Jason being here, but
I forgot. You're a fan of Jason Garrett.
I don't mind Jason Garrett. If you want to get rid of Linehan, that's another argument. But if you're looking for a quarterback, the draft class 2020 is what you're looking for. Nobody's really going to come out this year that you're going to lose your mind over. But in 2020, Justin Hubert from Oregon will be there. Jake Fromm from Georgia. My guy, Tua Tagovailoa in Alabama. He's going to be there. And a couple other guys. So if you're going to draft a quarterback, 2019 ain't really the year to do it anyway. You ask, who does this help right now? I think it's one big circle that just works together, right? So day one, Amari Cooper's not going to draw double coverage. Cool. But if you want to cover him one-on-one in man coverage, you dead as fried chicken anyway, because he's a nuanced route runner, and he's fast, and he got moves, and he can get there. He knows how to find open zones and coverage. So assuming Amari Cooper starts to be one-on-one coverage, Dak finds him consistently. They're going to have to adjust the coverage. then we can get the run game going. When the run game gets going, then Dak will be better because the run game has gotten going. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Play action will be back now. So it'll all be one big circle of life. One thing that we got to do day one is we got to prove that we can beat one-on-one man coverage with Amari Cooper. If we can, then everything else is just going to trickle down from there.
Well, like you are a Jason Garrett guy, you like Jason Garrett and everything else. You're cool with him. You know, I'm a Dak guy. Now, with I've got rose-colored glasses and stuff, and maybe you would be better to be a little bit more, um, not biased, so to speak.
Sure.
I look at Dak from the beginning of the year that it seems like he's going a little bit better each week again. That his numbers seem to be improving. That he's getting a few more touchdowns. He's not, the 160-yard pass games. That I believe he's finally getting comfortable too with the receivers that he's getting somewhat, and just kind of working through that slump. Am I crazy to see that?
We have to look at Dak with a level of realism. We have to know what we're dealing with. People ask me all the time, is Dak the guy? I'm like, you can win with Dak Prescott.
Well, we've won 25 with him.
You just need your team to play a certain level. He's not Aaron Rodgers, but a lot of people aren't. Okay, take a guy like Matt Stafford, whose arm talent miles away from Dak Prescott, right? Mm-hmm. But even he needs a running game. Even he needs an offensive line. Even he needs a defense to win. We look at guys, a coach, sure. We look at a guy like Dak Prescott. I mean, sure, he's having bad games this year, but I watch film every Tuesday, and I really break down what's going on. I do it live on my channel. And whenever Dak has a clean pocket to throw from, Dak is fine. Dak has no problems. But La'el Collins gets whooped consistently.
Tyron Smith is getting that way too now with speed rushers.
Sure. Tyron Smith can give up some plays. Tyron Smith is kind of, he's a great player now. Once upon a time, he was godly. He was a superhero at some point. But he's a solid, cool to good player right now. But you can win with that. If you ask Tyron Smith to one-on-one block Yannick Ngakoue 60 times, he'll win 4. Or he'll lose 4 times. Or Preston Smith, he'll lose maybe 5 times to Preston Smith. But if we get rid of the ball quicker,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Get the run game going, that'll be less pass blocking situations that Tyron and La'el got to deal with. So it all comes right back to running the football. Mm-hmm. If we could be solid with Dak, like we built this thing on offensive line. If we could be solid with Dak, give him a clean pocket that he can step up in, Dak looks amazing.
Okay. All right. So the final question will be do you think that this is going to help the Cowboys make a run to get to the playoffs?
I hope so. I mean, I can't predict the future, but think about it this way. I went back and I looked at it, and DallasCowboys.com stole my notion, but I'm gonna let them fly. If the Cowboys scored 24 points in all their games this year, we'll be 6-0-1, and we would go overtime with Seattle, and who knows, we may win or lose that one. So at worst case scenario, we'll be 6-1. There's no team besides Seattle that has scored 24 points on us, right? So we have the defense to win here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We just need the offensive line to cooperate. We need receivers to get open, catch, come back to the ball, and maybe Amari Cooper is just that small little bit to get us to 24 points a game.
Well, that and execution, because it seems like, Dak had 2 really good runs, but of course we ended up having a holding call or a chop block, something in there that ends up messing up a lot of these plays. And the biggest thing I think is the biggest problem is we just don't get turnovers.
Mm-hmm. True, we don't get turnovers, but at the end of the day, they're still only scoring 16 points.
I agree. But turnovers are game changers, though, man. When your offense gets the ball and their defense is not prepared for it, that gives you an opportunity for a big play, to go ahead and cut them at the throat. But all right, so we're going to take this then, Voch, and I appreciate your time. Tell everybody what's going on with your channel and where to find you.
Every Tuesday, I do a live stream. I break down the offense and the ins and outs of it, what went bad, what we did well. It's over on my YouTube page, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I also do Cowboys film throughout the week, so breaking down Michael Gallup, breaking down how David Irving did, Randy Gregory, or whatnot. Follow me on Twitter as well, same name, Voch Lombardi,
Mm-hmm.
and check out my podcast. It's my non-football podcast because I think I'm interesting for whatever reason. Voch's Voice. It's on all the podcast streaming platforms, even Spotify. Appreciate it, Mark.
All right, man. So again, you want to go ahead and find out some real knowledge on the guys that are going to be coming out of college and everything else. He knows everybody better than any of those guys out there on ESPN. So, guys, that's the lowdown. At least we got. That's the way we can look at it. But football is completely unpredictable. Guys they say are stiff and a bum end up being Hall of Famers, and the guys they say are can't miss guys are guys that miss. And it looks like I've bored Vosh, and he's already left the building. I'll see you guys real soon.